Ralphie, so do you remember your first street race by any chance?
That was a long time ago. That's a long time ago. I don't think I can. My memory is kind of messed up right now. But I remember some of my street race. I remember some of the guys that I raced that I'd never forget because we had such great time. Like, you know, like Tito with the Porsche. I mean, I never forget Tito. He never forgets me. I mean, we could see each other. We haven't seen each other maybe in 10 years. We'll walk around now and we'll see each other. And it's like, you know, we just left off yesterday because we had that rivalry, but we also have that friendship, you know, to go along with. Felix is one of the guys that, you know, I saw Felix. I'm a little older than him, so I saw Felix at a young age, and he used to come and watch us, and he got into it as well. And you know, he has a lot of respect for me. I have a lot of respect for what he does as well. You know, so it's more than street race also because you create a bond. So yeah, I still remember some of the races, but not my first race. No.
Gotcha. No, that's fine. Now, give us a rundown of one race that you know was memorable for you.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
One was with Tito.
Okay.
I can mention one with Tito. Tito had a Mazda.
Okay.
RX-7, first generation RX-7. That Mazda went to like 50 transplants. He had every motor in the book. You know, he started as a rotary. Then he put a Grand National motor. He put a Grand National, like Tito was one of the first guys to put those type of swaps. He used to do it all in his backyard by himself. So he put a Grand National motor. Then that didn't work out. It was an automatic, so we were doing the miles, so nobody wanted to run that thing. Then he went back to rotary again. And as a matter of fact, Tito was one of the first guys I saw with something programmable. We used to call him the mad scientist. That's what we used to call him back then. And then after the rotary, he raced me a couple of times in the 300CX and I beat him. And he was, I remember one time I beat him and he got out the car and started kicking the car. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? And I was just laughing because, you know, when you get to the finish, it's just a mile. When we get to the finish, like him and I are just the only one there because we get there first. So when we used to cross the mile, we used to stop under the GW Bridge by Riverside. And you know, talk about it and laugh and have all that fun between us, the drivers. So he's kicking the car and whatever. I'm like, what are you doing, man? That's your car. Like, this piece of whatever. Okay, so he leaves. Then that's when he got like, I guess he went home, thought about it, and that's when he really got creative. And he actually put a 300CX motor in the car and the 300CX front.
What?
On a first gen RX-7. Yeah, he had a blue first gen RX-7 that he actually cut the fender of the Mazda and put it together with the 300CX front, but it did have a 300CX front and a motor. Wow. Then he comes back and he wants to run me like, I'm not gonna run you in the lighter car with my motor. So he always wanted to get me and spot me cars. We never got to do that race because I'm not going to race the same car. I mean, I'm not stupid. And I know how fast the 300CX was. So, you know, the only thing I can think is, well, maybe the car's not going to handle as well as this 300CX, but I never took that chance. The car was fast, man. The car was real fast. The car was really fast. So yeah, those are a couple of the ones that I remember.
Nice. All right. Now, what made you choose the 300ZX?
Actually, the way that started, it was I was just a driver for that car.
Oh, okay.
The car belonged to a very good friend of mine that passed away along those years. He bought that car. He actually went into the dealer to buy a Nissan Pathfinder. And he walks into this dealer and he sees this car. He goes, oh, I want this car. So the guy's like, no, that car's sold. No, I don't want the Pathfinder. I want this car right now. So he actually bought it. He comes in it. And he asked me, "Oh, what do you think about the car?" I'm like, "I don't know. It looks nice, brand new car, made out the dealer." This guy took that particular car. There was a place here in Long Island called Prototype. That was actually right next to where Paisley's was, and he was the HKS dealer at that time. It was called Prototype. He took the car there and invested like 10 grand in those days in the car and put everything HKS on the car, everything. So they took like 3 weeks with the car to put all those bolt-ons. He actually brings the car over and he goes, "Come on, let's go for a ride." I actually took the car on a mile, because what I used to do on the mile is I used to time myself from start to finish. So I will know what my time was, more or less. And then when people used to race, I always had the 300ZX, which was a faster car. So I'm behind them and I would start timing them. And I know it's not exact, but I got a very good idea what your time is and what mine is and what I can give you. So that's something I used to do with that car. So when he brings it over, that's the first thing I did. I said, "Okay, let's go to the mountain." I get on the car and I get on that thing and I'm like, man, I never been that fast on a car. So I get out the car and I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because I'm scared, because there was like a little downhill. And when I went over the downhill, I felt my stomach go up. Yeah. So I'm laughing and I'm like, he goes, "You laughing?" I said, "Man, this car's fast." So he wanted to race a Starion that another guy in the street had. So he asked me, "What do you think? What do you think we can do?" I said, "Man, we can spot that car 15 cars. We used to get cars from the back. So what we will do is the car will be standing on a mile, right? And he will come 15 cars from the back rolling past me. And when he gets to me, I take off. So I tell him, I think we can spot him 15. This car's fast. I told him, I think we can spot him, right? I didn't say go and spot him. So we go to that night, we go out or whatever. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna race you, blah, blah, blah. They do all the talking. Yeah, oh no, but you gotta give me some car. Okay, I'll give you 15. I look at the guy like, is this guy on drugs? Like, you just don't go out give them all right away. So the guy goes, yeah, but Ralphie can't drive it, because he knew I used to drive for the guy. So he goes, yeah, I don't care, I'll drive it. That's one of the races I don't forget, because I wanted to cry. Like, I wanted to kill this guy. That's it. Like, you're going against the top car in the street and giving them the max car you can give. Who the hell are we going to race after this? That's it. It's done. Like, your money's done. Well, he races for $5,000. He puts it all up himself, because nobody wanted to bet on him. And the other guy, everybody went on his side, got the good money together. Boom, they race. He loses. I laugh, because I'm saying, oh, at least he lost. Glad. So the guy gets all cocky. Yeah. Not anybody can drive. I don't care, because he blew on by like 20 cars. So I tell the guy, oh, okay, and I ask him what happened. Oh man, I don't know. I missed the gear. Blah, blah. I said, okay, all right, whatever. So the guy goes, yeah, you can drive it. I don't care, Ralphie, you can drive it. So I said, okay, I'll drive it. So let's run head up. No, I'm not going to run you head up. All right, so I'll give you 5 cars. How's that? Okay, let's go. So we're going to put up the 5,000 again. So I go, I always have some money, so I pull out my money. The guy goes, come on, man, you gotta let me get my money back. I'm like, dude, boy, I gotta make some money. I'm here to make some money. So he actually put all the money again. I beat the guy.
So, you're good to go.
All right, so I'll start from when I gave him the 5 cars. So I gave the guy the 5 cars from rolling start, and I beat him. But not only did I beat him, I actually caught him, and I was able to lift a little bit and just hold it and ride him. So I got way more than that. So we won the race. The guy got his money back. Then he wants to run for another 2,500, or he wants me to give him 14 cars. So I'm like, man, I know I can give him 10 because I saw how much I get, but that would be risky. But you know what? It's $2,500. We're already on top. So I said, okay. Then now I'm able to put some money. I said, all right, let's do the 14. We did the 14, and I didn't beat him by much, but I was able to beat him again. So that's how that car got its fame from there. So now every time I had to run that car, I will always have to give somebody something, unless it was with Tito. Like Tito was one of the only guys that would run me head up on that car. Everybody else, I would either have to spot them, something, give them something to be able to race, which was a shame. That was a very fast car.
Wow.
But, that's what happens in street race. You got to start down low, like I said, and work your way up. If you start on top, then now you're done. You got to, that's basically the story there.
Wow. Now, when that was going on, what year was that with that ZX?
This was 1990. I don't forget that, because that was a 1990 car.
Wow.
That was the first year of the twin turbo 300ZX.
Kilo.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. So after that car, what's the next car you hopped in, you think? That was memorable for you, like a memorable car?
From there, that's mostly my most memorable car, but that really just, I made a lot of money with that car. That's why I don't forget it. I mean, it has a lot of sentimental value to me. And I actually bought my own in 91. I bought a 300ZX. After that, I basically don't have anything that I can say memorable, because I drove a lot of cars for people in those days. Yeah. That's basically what I did more than anything. Yeah. I used to drive a Starion, but that was before the 300ZX. I mean, I had a race. I had a race that I did out of just being mad and somebody pissing me off. I had a 89 Honda Prelude, the one that turns the wheels in the back. That was my daily driver. That was just a car to drive. I had, a nice radio, music, and rims in it. And there was a guy in the block with a BMW M3, right? He couldn't drive much or whatever, but he had the car nice and a couple of mods in the car, but it's a BMW M3. So he tried to come over to me and tell me, "Oh, I'll race you with your Prelude." I'm like, "Man, dude, this is a Prelude, man. This Honda is a piece of crap. It's my daily." So he goes, "Oh, no, you think you're bad? You think you're good? You think you're a good driver? This and that. Race me with that." I said, "Okay, look, let's do this. Let's put up $1,000. Punk out money. Whoever don't show up at 10 o'clock loses $1,000. That's where I got that from. So the guy does. My thing in those days was a night shift shop. That was all I used to do. He gave me 20 cars from the back on the mile with an M3. So at least I got something to think that I'm getting, but I got 150 shot on nitrous on it. So when I passed the guy that he tries to take off, I was already in third gear on the button. I'm not taking any chances. I know I gotta get whatever I gotta get. It's not top end. He's gonna come at me and get me. So that's like one of the only races that I did that I never let go. I'm like, whatever it is, if this is gonna blow up, because I know this M3 is gonna come from behind me and just eat me. And I beat him by, like, I practically gave up. Like, because I took out like 20 cars ahead of him. But that's one of the things I also remember, because it was like I was the real underdog there, and I did it out of like balls. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I was really scared. That's why I never let go. I'm like, I'm just gonna go all the way down. If it makes it, it makes it. But it was a fun run. And then he goes, "Oh no, you got nitrous." And then in those days, you couldn't come and say, "I want to see what you got under your hood or what you got." It is what it is. I brung what I brung, and you got yours, I got mine. That's it. You don't get to see my hood. You don't get to do anything. So I took my money, left.
And let me ask you, being that you drove different cars, is it difficult to just hop in someone's car and race, for money? Is it? I
mean, to me, in those days, the way I looked at racing, you know how like a basketball player is in his zone or a baseball player is in his zone? I was always in the zone and concentrating. Like, I took it seriously. To me, that was my life. That was everything. It was my pride. So I will hop in a car. Like, if I never drove it, I will go and test it. Things like that I will do. I just don't hop in it and drive it and go. The way I always said is, I don't race to lose. I don't do a street race to lose. When I try to do it, I lost, yeah. But my chances were 90% of winning. The 10% just happened to take over. But the way I looked at it, I don't race to lose. So I would test the car. I would do little things and would do little mods. Nitrous was huge in those days. It was huge, and it was a big thing that nobody knew about. And it gave you a tremendous advantage. So a lot of the people I used to race always said you got nitrous, but they never could prove it. They always said the 300ZX had nitrous, which it didn't. That was one of the only cars that didn't have it. And but they always say I have it, and you just can't prove it. So it is what it is. Either you run me or you're not. But you always gotta try to look. And street racing is about the advantage. That's what I always look at. I have to have that advantage. What people do nowadays, I don't know what that is, but street racing was about having the lesser car, the car that's going to lose, and the other guy has the better car. That's what's about.
Now, what do you think about street racing today? What's wrong with it?
What I see wrong with it is, we used to argue, but we had respect for each other, no matter what. And up to this day, like the way I talk about Tito, Felix, and all the people that I used to race, I still had that respect for them, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, you know what I mean? And it's something that it's not that some people don't care about it, but there's got to be respect to a point. Like, there's no respect. People talk to each other like, listen, this is a race, man. We'll get the race. We can have a beer afterward. That's fine. That's fine. We can do the race and we can have the beer. We can kill each other. The minute I go in that car, yeah, I want to kill you. But when we get out of that car, that's it. It's over. We're human beings, you know what I mean? We got to understand how to respect each other and how not to go crazy. And if I lose, my motto was, I'm going to come back. And I did. I came back. I did something. I came back. I want to run again. And that's what keeps it going. That's what keeps racing going. But nowadays, they will talk for like 3 days, man. And Instagram and Facebook ain't made it any easier. You know what I mean? When we used to race, it was word of mouth. Oh, so-and-so's going to race tonight. We'll get maybe 50 people. You get 50,000 now. You put it on Instagram or something. It's like, it's a show, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But I don't know. It's changed. It's changed a lot.
A lot.
It's changed a lot.
So you think social media has hurt it or helped?
Well, in a way, I think it hurts it, because people do it without knowing, and they will post it. And, cops will see it, or people that you don't want to see it will see it. If social media was only for the street racer, it would be fine. It will do a lot of good, but I don't think it does any good on posting it. And I mean, you don't want to have all these people when you race, because the race never gets done. Every time you got a bunch of people and arguments, and then usually you have the guy that don't have nothing to do with the race come and say, no, the race not going to go like that. It's going to go like this. Like, dude, who the hell are you? Where you came from? You know what I mean? Like, messing up the race, which even in my days, like I always say, it's not a personal thing. It's a race. If I could be both of your friends. If I think my money's going to win here, my money's going to go here, my man. Don't get mad at me. It is a hustle. That's what it is. It's a hustle. I'm going to put my money where my money's going to win. I got nothing against you. We can be friends. But I'm sorry, today you're going to lose. My money's going to win over here. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. When people understand that that's how street race works, no. Now you got this group against this group. And, don't run that guy because he's going to beat you. Dude, let him run it. Go somewhere else. Go to the movies. Go out to a club or something that they're going to race. Don't mind it. What's the difference? So that's the way street racing is now. It's changed a lot. Before, nobody messes up any race. Everybody wanted to actually see the race, no matter what. You don't think you don't want to bet? You don't have to bet, but let the race go down. So that's a lot of the things that I see different. I mean,
everybody has input.
Everybody has an input.
Has input on that. You want to start? Cut. All right.